Hey guys, John Oakes here, and I'm just going to do this quick video here to give you a demonstration of setting up a PPV campaign with Lead Impact. Now, Lead Impact is just one of many PPV or CPV networks that are available out there. So I do encourage you to try lots of different networks, set up campaigns at different ones, but keep in mind you don't want to get too widespread. So a good way to do it is maybe pick 2 or 3 networks, really learn how those networks generate their traffic, what their demographics are, kind of learn how to work with them individually and get good at those before you move on to too many at the same time. All right, so we're going to log into my test account here with Lead Impact. And in the main campaign screen here, what we're going to do is go down here and click to create a new campaign. And we're just going to name it something. So let's just call it test demo. And then you can set your maximum budget amount on a per day or per hour basis. I highly recommend that when you first set up a campaign, you limit it to $5 or $10 per day. Because when you're first setting it up, you're going to have to go through a process of optimizing those targets that you set up. And that'll make more sense here in just a couple of seconds. But again, you don't want to have a runaway campaign. I've made that mistake. Many others have done the same. I had a campaign once that I had set to $100 a day, and it ran through $100 in about 15 minutes of getting approved. So, and of course, that was all on one target with no conversions, no leads, no nothing. It was just a garbage target that somehow mistakenly got in there. So don't make that mistake. Set it to $5 per day. And then you can always scale it up once you've optimized that campaign and you know that the targets that you have in are converting. All right, so we're going to click Next Step. And then we're going to name our landing page. Let's just call this also Test Demo Lander 1. And then you put in the URL to the landing page that you're going to send it to. This is just going to be a test one here, but this is where you would put in your squeeze page address, your sales page address, wherever it is that you're wanting to send that traffic. Now, I highly recommend using squeeze pages with PPV traffic. It tends to be easier to optimize and faster to get it up and running and being able to measure your success with that. If you have a high converting sales page, you can certainly use that, but just be careful with that. Product category. Now here with Lead Impact, now every PPV network again is a little bit different. With Lead Impact, they want you to choose the most relevant category for your type of ad. For things like business opportunity, BizOp, the one that I've found that works the best is to go down to lifestyle and then in the subcategory choose other. If you can hear that sizzling in the background, that's because I'm sitting at my kitchen bar and I've got some bacon cooking on the oven right now. I'm going to turn that off real quick. Hang on one sec. All right, yeah, we don't want the distraction of sizzling bacon over the top of our video. Okay, so product subcategory other, so lifestyle other. Now here's an important thing to note. The pricing is going to be different for every category and subcategory within Lead Impact. So lifestyle other has one of the lowest pricing minimums that you can have across their network. Some of the others, like if you were to go in here and choose financial services, some of those have a minimum that's literally 3 times the minimum bid price of any of the other categories. And that would be something like mortgage or real estate, those type of things. Very high cost. I recommend, unless you're in that niche, certainly you have to choose that. But lifestyle other, if you can get away with it, is always the best one to choose. Sometimes, depending on what niche you're marketing, they might come back to you before approving the ad and say they have to switch that, and it's going to be a little higher bid. But just be aware of that. Keyword pass-through, we're not going to talk about that. That's kind of beyond the scope of this video that I'm doing now. Here you want to be sure that you choose your country targeting. So for what I'm doing right now, business opportunity, I'm choosing United States only. Even though Empower Network, which is what I'm currently marketing, is also available, across the world for that matter. I really like to stick with the United States. It tends to convert better, especially on PPV traffic. It's also, most of these PPV networks, the US traffic is more abundant. They're more US based. Okay, so we can go to the next step. And here we're going to just go ahead and you can either save, or you can save and continue at this point and come back later and add your targets. But we're going to go ahead and talk about targets real quick. So before we do this, we're going to go and use a tool that I highly recommend for selecting targets. And let me just kind of back up a step and explain targets. Targets are how you're going to target the people that are going to see your advertisement or your website or your squeeze page. And if you remember from the blog post, the PPV networks are a permission-based, adware-based marketing system. So people are going to have, they might be going to a specific website, and then your ad is going to pop up right over the top of that. So you want to be sure that you're targeting the right kind of websites, so you're getting the right demographic of people seeing your ads. Obviously, you don't want to pop up over something that's completely unrelated, that it doesn't match your demographic. So a good way to do that, and I'm going to cover two different ways, but the first way to do it is to sort of do it en masse, which can be done using a really cool little tool that I have here. Find the right address. And it is a URL scraper tool. This is actually a domain that I own, and I've set this up here for anyone to use. It's a free tool. So, if you're wanting to use it, feel free to do so. There's no charge for that. You go into the keyword field here and you just type in your keywords. So, for the sake of this one, we're setting up a BizOp campaign. Let's just type in home-based business. And then you can choose your depth of how many pages in the search engines you want to be scraping these URLs. I'm going to just leave it at 10, and we're going to choose Google, Yahoo, and Bing, and click the Get URLs button. Now it's going to go through and it's going to scrape the URLs from the top 10 pages from each of those search engines and then put it in here. So we've got 125 unique URLs, and you can run this tool as many times as you want with different keywords, and it will continue to pull up lots and lots of keywords for you. You can even go to change the depth to different levels. So if you only wanted stuff from the first page for your keyword, you can choose that, or you can go as deep as 10 pages. All you would do then is copy all of these, and then we're going to go back to Lead Impact, and we're going to click on this Add Keywords. Now, with a lot of these networks, they allow you to put in both URL addresses as well as just keywords. I have always had much better success using the URL addresses as targets instead of actual keywords. I'm not sure why that is, but if you think about it, people are actually browsing and actively looking for stuff using URLs. So it makes more sense to be popping up over the top of websites that they're searching on that are completely related, or the demographic is matched at least to your product or service you're offering. So in here you just paste these in, and it's going to cut off the HTTP www portion of those automatically for you. But one thing real quick I'm going to mention, you want to go through this before you click Add Keywords, because what you don't want in here are things like ezinearticles.com, going right to the root of that, which ezine articles will show up a lot of times on a scraper. Also things like youtube.com/watch, because you're going to have like a billion visitors going or seeing your page, and you're going to get no activity from that in a very short period of time. So you want to remove those before you click it. And in fact, they might even have a catch in here. So let's just click Add Keywords and see what happens. Yeah, see, they're going to catch some of that. Some of these are too long, so you won't be able to put those in. And then some of them, let's see, sometimes it catches the YouTube stuff just because it knows that you probably inadvertently put that in. So once you clean that up, then you just you can either hit close, and you can see that it added all the targets that were accepted. And then you can go through here and change if you want to rank number 1 for those. You're going to need to be in the top 3 at least to get any traffic at all. I highly suggest that you bump things up to the first position and see what the quality of traffic is, and then you can always scale it back if you need to. It just kind of depends. You should know your metrics and know how far you can go as far as bids. But you can see most of these are set. They're going to be at number 1 for 1.5 pennies. So again, look at this number. This is 1.5 cents per view. So that means every time somebody goes to this website, I don't know what that is, debbiebixler.com/home business training, which is completely related to a home business offer. Anytime somebody who's in their network goes to that website, my offer, my squeeze page is going to pop up in front of the website that they were going to for 1.5 cents. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but you know, if you get your targeting wrong, you can go through a lot of money and not get any results. So that's where the optimization comes in. So that's it for setting up a campaign. You would just simply go down here and hit save and continue. And then in usually a few hours to 12 hours, that campaign would be approved. Now I'm going to go back to campaigns and I'm going to delete that because we don't want that in there. Okay. So again, the steps are very easy. You set up a campaign, you choose your targets, and then you go ahead and set that up, adjust your bids, and wait for approval. And then you just watch and see the traffic coming through. So a quick note on optimization, I did cover that a little bit in the blog post, but essentially you want to be watching your traffic as it's coming in from this network and weeding out all of the targets that are bringing in a lot of traffic but are not converting. So, you know, if you're looking to get, you know, you should know your metrics. If a lead is, you know, the maximum you're willing to pay is $5 a lead, and you've spent more than say $10 or $15 on a specific target, I would take that target out or pause that target. And it's just a process of going through and continuing to optimize the targets that are bad, and then, you know, possibly bidding up the ones that are bringing you good traffic that are converting. And that's how you get, you know, the kind of results that I showed in the image above, where I had, I believe it was 290 leads at 60 cents per lead. That was a result of about 4 or 5 days of optimizing that campaign. And then once I've done that, it's just on free run. I just let it run day in, day out. And that 290 leads is just from the last 3 days. So once you get it right, once you spend a little time on the front end, it's a fantastic source of traffic. Each network is a little bit different, has its own nuances, but it's pretty easy to learn those. So I hope you found this useful. Again, feel free to use the scraper tool if you wish, and hope that that is something that can help get you some leads at a good price as well.